Good morning, folks. This is Naim Aslam. Just a test. If you guys can please give me a check. You guys can hear me and you guys can see my screen. If you can, just please say yes. Okay, wonderful, great. Thank you. Thank you for the confirmation, Andrew. Appreciate that. And Nat and Mike, that's really good. And many others who are saying yes. So it's been a pleasure, as always, to host webinars for you guys. And this is Naim Aslam, Chief Market Analyst at AvaTrade. I have the research department at AvaTrade, and all the research that you see on a daily basis is done primarily by myself. So on a daily basis, we produce large number of research, which I will go through in a bit. But before we do that, just a little bit about myself and who I am. So, as I said, my name is Naim Aslam. I come with a wealth of over 15 years of trading experience. Over this period, I have worked as a hedge fund trader for Bank of New York Mellon and also with Bank of America. At AvaTrade, I work as a head of research. So, on a daily basis, all the research that you see on our platform is done by myself. Now, that's in a nutshell, very brief introduction about me. A lot of background noise, people saying. Yeah, myself from background. I don't know. Okay, I don't know why there is a noise at the back, because there is no noise from my side, folks. Because from my side it is all clear, and you should be able to hear me. Really, you guys can still hear the noise from the background? Okay, let me check how I can fix this. Give me a 1 second, and let me see if I can make that any better. Connections, my audio. Okay. How about now, folks? Is it gone any better now? Is it better? Can you guys hear me better? Is the noise gone? Okay, thank you so much. Thank you. Sorry about that. I don't know why. Maybe some sort of a technical issues over here. Paul, Rashid, blessing. Thank you, Daniel. Good to see you guys again. Right. Okay. So that's a little bit about myself. Now, in a series of a few questions, as always, I wanted to ask you guys some questions, and wanted to know a little bit about myself. Today, I have a lot of exciting news for you guys. But before we do that, please say yes if you have attended any of my previous webinars. Okay, wonderful. I see a lot of familiar names over here. Okay, so don't worry if you haven't, because all of my webinars, they are uploaded on our YouTube channel, which is AvaTrade. Again, I will show you the channel and how to access that. And the second question is, please say yes if you have been trading under a year. Okay, so I see a lot of people who recently started the journey of trading. It is very, very good, because folks, this is the true freedom that you will get, because this is an extra source of income. If you play things right, you can really make a lot of money in this game. But of course, risk management sits on top of that, and that is the most essential piece than anything else with respect to it. So please say yes. The last question is, please say yes if you have been trading for over 2 years. So we have a combination of people who have been trading for a long time, and then we also have a newbie. So this really helps me to, kind of make things a bit more simpler, because I wanted to make sure that the people who have recently started trading, they also understand the terminology that I will be using in this webinar. So let's begin without any further delay. So what we're going to, as always, the most important thing is to run the disclaimers and risk warnings and make you guys understand that anything which will be discussed in this video cannot be, or in this webinar cannot be perceived as an advice. If you are seeking for one, please do consider consulting with your own financial advisor. Now, the most important thing as a trader is to get access to all the information. Now, of course, you guys are reading CNBC, and then I hope that you guys are also reading our blog where we put all the research. But the most important thing is that when you are trading, and when you see those big spikes up or down, the important thing is that you guys need to understand why that spike has happened, what has really moved that price. Because if you are trading stocks like Netflix, especially if you had a position yesterday, you could see that the stock was very, very volatile. Mario, don't worry about it. Everything is, uploaded on YouTube, so you'll be able to hear all of that. So as I was saying, it is very, very important for you guys to get all that information. And there is nothing more good than Twitter, because Twitter gives you all the notification, all the information straight to your mobile. So, when you are trading Forex, when you're trading equities or commodities or indices, when you see a sudden move, you wanted to know that, okay, what drove that price move? The best thing to do is to go to, Twitter. Twitter gives you all that information. And we all know how Donald Trump uses Twitter to lead markets. So it is very important for us, to get all those notifications. So in order to do that, you can follow us over here. So my personal account is right in front of you, which is Naeem Aslam 23. And then the other account is AvaTrade. In addition to that, our YouTube channel is AvaTrade. On the YouTube channel, you have two different videos. I'm doing the live videos, live hits as well, every single day, explaining you why the market is going up and down and where are those important support and resistance levels, which are also known as buy and sell levels. And for those more experienced traders, I also do the technical analysis videos where we really drill down in a lot more further details for that. So let me show you how to find all of those, the channels, and how to find me on Twitter, and then why it is so important among everything. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring out the stuff in front of you. So as you can see, that the first thing in front of you is the AvaTrade YouTube channel. So you can see from the YouTube that over here we can have all the live and Q&A sessions as well, the fundamental videos and everything else. So I'll recommend you guys to have a look at it on a daily basis. In addition to that, this is my AvaTrade channel. That is my Twitter handle right in front of you. And as you can see, I'm very, very active in relation to the market, giving you all the breaking headlines and then the sort of a news in front of you as well. One important thing is that, recently, just about 33 minutes ago, I tweeted about Bitcoin price, which was trading about 12,000. And now, if we look at the Bitcoin price, if I just bring out the Bitcoin chart, now the Bitcoin price has gone up more than $283 since my last tweet. So you can see how the Bitcoin price has moved. So, all these sort of information are very, very important, why the prices are moving higher. And I will explain all of that in a lot more detail. And as for AvaTrade, you make sure, please, that you follow the right account, which is AvaTrade with the blue tick mark, which is very, very important for you guys, because you certainly don't want to follow any fake accounts, because, then you are really putting yourself in a trouble. So, as a trader, it is important for us to have an insurance policies, right? Because when we buy a car, when we buy a house, we always have insurance. Now, at AvaTrade, we have a product which is called AvaProtect. When you are taking a long position or a short position, you can always protect that position by buying the insurance, which is called the AvaTrade Protect. So AvaProtect TM is a revolutionary one-click risk management tool available on AvaTrade Web Trader and AvaTrade app. With the AvaProtect, you can purchase protection against loss of a defined period after opening a position. If the protection ends, you will have an option. You will have an open position that is losing. AvaTrade will reimburse all the loss directly into your trading account. The only cost that you will incur is the AvaTrade Protect fee. So this is really good. So if you are not sure whether the price is going to move up or down, and then you just caught on the wrong side, so you can buy that insurance, pay a small fee, but protect yourself from a big loss. The second thing is, how to activate that feature on your platform. Activating is very simple. So all what you gotta do is tap to open AvaTrader or AvaTrade Go app, select an instrument, whether it's a euro dollar, whether it's a stock, click on the Ava Protect option, right? So as you can see it right in front of you over here, you have Ava Protect right over here. So choose the protection duration, how long you want it to have it for 1 hour, 3 hours, whatever it is, and it will show you the fees right over here. And then after that, you complete the trade, and that is it. So after you are protected, so it is available on FX, gold, silver, and on silver trade. So right now we don't have the protection on equities and indices, but we have a protection for FX, gold, and silver, which is the most important one, and which is the most loved instruments among our investors and traders. Now, in terms of agenda, what we're going to discuss for our webinar, for this masterclass, is we're going to look at the indices. Why it is important for us to look at indices? Because indices are usually driver of the moves, right? So we need to see that which index is the lagging index, which index is the leading index, and then we form the decision. But it doesn't stop only there. The next step after that, after once we have measured that, is of course your measuring sectors, which is right over here, right? So you need to know which sector is the leading sector, which sector is your lagging sector, because obviously you wanted to pick up a stock in a sector which is the leading sector. Now, in terms of our stocks that we are going to cover, and I'm more than happy for you guys to throw some of the stocks that you wanted me to have a look at, which are available on our platform. I will have a certainly look on them. But in general, we are going to cover our streaming stocks such as Netflix and Disney Plus. In terms of airlines, we will have a look at Boeing. In terms of the pharmaceuticals, we look at Johnson & Johnson for Pfizer. In retail, we will look at Amazon, eBay, and Alibaba. In the energy sector, we will look at Chevron, Exxon, Shell, and Total. In the banking sector, which was very, very volatile last week, because of the earnings season, if you know that we are into earnings season. So we had a Bank of America, we had Citi Group, and we have Barclays and Goldman Sachs. All of them announced their earnings. All these stocks, they announced their earnings last week. So obviously, that would be quite intriguing for you guys to learn as well. So does that clarify? It is important for you guys to understand from so far what we have discussed, and then we can move forward. Right. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring out my MT4 platform, because obviously this is a platform which is used most among our investors and traders. And what we're going to do is we're going to look at the indices first, and we're going to determine which index is the lagging index and which index is the leading index. Now, this is your Dow Jones index, and we have 3 different moving averages with respect to all the moving average, all the stocks and everything with respect to that. So first of all, in pink, you have your 50-day simple moving average, then your 100-day moving average, and followed by your 200-day simple moving average. If you wanted to add these ones, you go into insert, you go into indicators, you go into trends, and then from there onwards, you go to moving averages. From here, you can change the period. Always remain keep this one as a simple, because this simple kind of suits out all those movements. Now, in order for us to measure the movement, what we're going to do is we're going to look at the price action with respect to the moving average, how far the price is really trading with respect to the moving average. Now, for the Dow Jones, we can clearly see that the price is very, very close towards its smooth moving average. That is one of the things. And then the second thing we're going to look at is where is the all-time high. So this is your all-time high, right? So the price hasn't been able to reach its all-time high. We were very, very close a few weeks back in August when the price was getting close to the all-time high, but then we have made another high which was lower than the previous high. So we have 3 highs altogether, but they are all lower ones, right? Now, what we're going to do is we're going to do the same sort of analysis for the rest of them. So we're going to look at the S&P 500 index, and we're going to see where the S&P 500 index is trading. Now, when I look at the S&P 500 index, I see that this is your all-time high. This was your previous all-time high back in January. So clearly, the S&P 500 index has a lot more strength because it has made another all-time high. This was your all-time high before COVID. This is your all-time high during COVID. And now we have another one, which is right over here as well. Now, in terms of the price is trading pretty much close enough to its 50-day moving average. So we know that, okay, this is a still good index, which has a lot of strength, but overall, the index is trading close to its 50-day moving average. So that is what we've got to pay more attention to. Now, by applying the same methodology, we are going to do the same so that you guys can really understand what we really mean over here. I'm going to look at the NASDAQ 100 index. When I look at the NASDAQ, I'm going to do is I'm going to go to your daily time frame once again, and I'm going to do the same. So what we look at from the NASDAQ is that, okay, this was your all-time high before the COVID, and now we have another all-time high, which is right over here. Again, this new all-time high is much, 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 much higher than the previous one, because for the S&P 500 index, there was an all-time high, but it wasn't that much of a high than the previous all-time high. So obviously the NASDAQ index, which is known as your tech index also, has made a very high new all-time high. So now we've established one clear understanding, which is that the NASDAQ is the strongest index, the S&P is the second strongest index, and the Dow Jones holds the third position. Does that make sense to you guys? Please shoot them right now before we continue any further, because it is important for me, like I said to you, that you guys understand what we are really talking about. Okay, so I see that everyone is pretty much clear on this particular aspect. All right. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we know that the tech sector is the most strongest tech sector among anything else. So let's have a look at the price action for these ones. So what are your tech stocks? Your tech stocks, as we said, we will begin the analysis by looking at the Netflix. Now, yesterday, Netflix came up with its earnings, and then what it showed in the earnings was that the new subscriber growth is not increasing. So this is going to put a lot of pressure for the Netflix stock. This is where your opportunity is going to be today. So the opportunity with respect to the Netflix is going to be, where is your important support level? Again, we are on the daily time frame. So for me, the major support level is going to be between 504. Currently, the price is trading at 527. And I am looking at this particular zone where the 50-day moving average is trading. I'm going to draw just one more support line in order to complete my support zone. So your support zone, as the market will open in an hour and 15 minutes or so. So we're going to look at the price between 499 to 507. So if this price moves to the downside, which it is very, very likely to move to the downside, if it comes into this one, this is the level that we will be very much looking at. If the price comes into this and then it continues to move to the side, that could be your opportunity. As long as we don't break this level, the price will move to the upside. However, if the price moves downward from here, the next support level, the potential support level, is going to be near the 100-day moving average, which is going to be near 486 price level, which is right over here. So very, very likely that the price can come over here as well. But if in the following day the price doesn't stop here, then we have to look at the next support level, which is my favorite support level. And that my favorite support level in terms of a Netflix is 452 to 462 price level. Now, in terms of our resistance, where the price can really move afterwards is, we also got to define those ones, the sell levels, right? Because we have defined our support levels, we've defined our buy levels, but we also need to define our resistance levels or the sell levels. So for me, the most important sell level for the price is, if you get into this price zone, the buy zone is going to be on top of these candles, and that price level is going to run between 547 to 544. So you can see this is a very, very good risk to reward ratio. So if you can get into this price level, you wanted to go into this area of resistance. Does that make sense to you guys? Are you guys clear on this one? What I'm really referring to over here? Yes, exactly. Support and resistance level. That's what we are going to define. Because as an expert, this is what we, the purpose for you guys to come to this webinar is to understand which sector is the strongest one, which stocks are the best ones to trade at, and what levels you can really be looking at. So that's what we are really looking at with respect to them. Yes, that is correct, Jeff. That is correct with your question. Right. So now we're going to do the same for Amazon because Amazon is also going to come up with its earning reports next week, right? So we got to do the same for the for the Nasdaq as well, and then we got to go onto the daily time frame to do that. So right now, Amazon price is very much in battle with its 50-day simple moving average. Now, currently, because the futures are trading to the downside, it is very likely that the Amazon will move to the downside. So we need to define our support zone. Because of the earnings, we're going to take a look at a longer term view. So for me, the longer term buy zone is going to be between 2,864 to 2,920. And with respect to your resistance level, if the stock really comes up with a good earning, it's very possible that the stock can continue its journey to the upside, and we can really move the price towards its next resistance level. And that resistance level is going to be between 3,491 to 3,543. So these are the sort of a price levels that we should be very much paying attention to. So our support, first of all, our immediate support is going to be, as of today, it could be somewhere in around this support level, just above the 200-day price level. And that is going to be between 3,093 to 3,137. So that is our immediate support level. So this is our buy level number one. And after that, we have our buy level number two, which is at 2864 to 2920. However, for those investors who like to take a little bit more risk, you can certainly buy the price near the 200-day moving average, because this area right over here can also very much act like a support as well. So if the price falls from here, then you may want to check the price, how it trades near the 200-day moving average. And that price level is going to be between 3,019 to all the way to 3,025 price level. So that is the price that we are really looking at in terms of our next support zone. So we have three different support zones. Support zone number one, right over here. Support zone number two, which is right over here. And then support number three, which is right over here. And in terms of a resistance, we are very much focused on this one, right over here. So that is with respect to what we are looking at Amazon and what exactly can really happen with Amazon. Now, given the fact that we have done two tech stocks, let's just continue to move forward. Let's have a look at other tech stocks if we can really focus on within that. So the next one is going to be a Google, because Google is also going to come up with its earning as well. Again, on a daily time frame, we've got to look at the similar price action. Look how the price has respected its 50-day support level, 50-day simple moving average. The price moved below, and then it moved back up. So these moving simple moving averages are very, very important. Why? Because right over here, when the price moved back above the 50-day moving average, it went all the way to here. Then again, it retested the 50-day moving average. Then again, it made another high. And then when it moved below the 50-day moving average, it went to its 200-day moving average, came back up, tested the 200-day moving average, then went back up. And then the moment that it crossed above the 100-day moving average, we had another high. Now the price is again trading above its 50-day simple moving average. Now, what the question is, where are those important support and resistance levels? Again, the biggest support level is going to be near the 200-day moving average, which is right over here. Another support level with respect to the price is going to be where the 100-day moving average is, so which is right over here, because, and I think this is very likely for the price to come over here. In terms of our resistance, we are looking at the median resistance is going to be where the previous highs are, the median highs are. But after that, if the Google really comes up with a good earnings, then we are going to continue to move higher, and we're going to come into this resistance zone. But if the earnings are really good and the momentum really continues to the upside, then we are going to go towards our next resistance zone, which is right on the top of everything that we have. And these are the levels. So once again, this is our resistance level 1, runs from 1708 to 1722. Resistance level number 2, which is 1634 to 1652. Resistance level number 3, 1572 to 1582. Support level number 1, 1488 to 1499. We can slightly increase this one to here and then say 1508. And then the biggest support level is at 1398 to 1425. So that pretty much sums up all of our tech sector in relation to our prices. Apart from that, we also have Tesla. Tesla's price action is also trading between its 100. Let's just keep. Tesla is not really your tech stock, so I'm just going to skip the Tesla stock because I'm more wanting to focus on the major tech stocks such as these ones, the one which are over here. So again, let me just have a quick look at any questions that you guys may have put on in here before we move on to something else. So let me just go through the questions. Number of some good questions with respect to support and resistance levels. When we talk about support and resistance levels, yes, you can bring RSI, but RSI is your lagging indicator. That is why I don't have RSI on any of my charts. I pay attention to most support, simple moving averages. And one of the questions was why these, why is so one of the important question was that why can you signify the importance of smooth moving averages? The importance of the smooth moving averages is I've already explained. The price comes and then it very much respects these moving averages. Like look at over here, when the sell-off happened for the Google stock and it started to move below the 50-day moving average, it went all the way to a 200-day moving average. That is where our biggest support zone is. That is where we are expecting the price to sharply bounce back up. Right, now let's have a look at some of our banking stocks as well, because the banking stocks are quite an important one to look at. So that's what we're going to look at. So we will begin with the Bank of America. Now, when we look at the Bank of America, obviously the stock earnings are over. So there are no more stock earnings, but obviously there is no smoothing moving averages. So let's add our smooth moving averages over here. So I'm going to go to moving average. I'm going to do the 200. I'm going to keep the color the same. Again, I'm going to do the same. I'm going to put another moving average, and I'm going to go to trend, and I'm going to go to moving average. This time I'm going to change it to 100, and I'm going to change the color to yellow because that is the color that we use for this one. And then we're going to put one more moving average, which is going to be your, again, simple moving average. And this time we're going to change the time frame to 50. I'm going to change the color to pink because pink is our 50-day moving average. Now, clearly, Bank of America on your daily time frame is still trading below all of these important moving averages. And then look, since the price broke below a 50-day moving average, we had this massive move to the downside. But then the moment the price broke above the 50-day moving average, you had massive move to the upside, but failed to break above the 200-day moving average. And again, this is where your resistance was. The price moved back down and then broke its again, your 50-day moving average, then again moved back above the 50-day moving average, and we had a resistance coming from the 200-day moving average. Now price is once again is trading well below all of these moving averages. So the question is, where is our support zone? Where can we do a possible entry? So the first possible entry with respect to the Bank of America stock is right over here, which is between $22 to $23 stock price. Right now it is trading at 24. Very likely for the price to come into this zone, and then it can go into area. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just slightly redefine this support zone, and I'm going to take the low of this candle, and I'm going to move this particular line a little bit low. And why? That is the question. If that is the question, because this particular area is the point on the chart where we have a massive rally in terms of Bank of America stock. We went from 22 to all the way to nearly 28, and then the price came back down, and then it retested that price level. When it retested that price level, the price moved back up. So this is the area in terms of Bank of America stock where we should be looking at in terms of a buy level. Now, in terms of a resistance, we're going to keep our resistance near the 200 moving average, so 25 to 26. Again, very, very good price levels in terms of a risk to reward ratio. Right now, there is no trade, but in the coming days, we can really see there's some good price levels. But if you really wanted to be aggressive, if you really wanted to take some good trades, you can do that the moment the price moves above its 50 or 100-day moving average. As you can clearly see, previously, the moment the price crosses above the 50-day moving average, as it did over here, the price moves its direction. So the moment the price crosses above the 100 or 50-day moving average, that could be your potential trade. But remember, the risk to reward ratio under those circumstances may not be that great. But if the price continues its journey to the upside, the next resistance level is going to be between 27.81 to all the way to here, 27.32. Now, let's have a quick look at Goldman Sachs. Again, we're going to do the daily time frame on this one. Now, Goldman Sachs is definitely much stronger price levels in terms of its price, in comparison to Bank of America. So if you do want to trade a banking stock, then Goldman Sachs could be one of your best choice because it is trading above its moving averages, which confirms that the price is an upward trend. So where is your immediate support level in terms of that? The immediate support level for me, if there is any retracement, is going to be between the 50 and the 100-day moving average. And that is why we are going to move our support level from 202 to 205. Currently, the price is trading at 208. In terms of our resistance zone, we are going to mark this high, the previous high, which was right over here in terms of a price action, and we're going to take this price level. Again, you can see that the moment the price crossed below the 50-day massive sell-off, the price crossed above the 50, a massive bull rally. Again, when the price crossed below the 50-day moving average over here, again, another bear rally, and now the price has crossed above these ones. So possibly, potentially, we can see a move which can be really moving to the upside. Now, let's move to our airline stock, which is your Boeing stock, before we call it a day. Now, Boeing is your very, very interesting stock in the past few days because Boeing stock has moved above its 50-day moving average, and it is currently in battle with 50 and 100-day moving average on the same daily time frame. So, given the fact that the airline stocks are still very much under pressure because of COVID, so we are going to keep our support zone in around this price level, which is 156 to 163. And in terms of the resistance, we are going to mark our resistance near the 195 price level, which is where our 200-day simple moving average is trading at. So if the price crosses above the 50-day moving average, you can certainly go back into this trade, and then you can really continue to target these price levels. And if it remains around if it goes above that, that could be another entry if the price doesn't come into here. But if the price falls to the downside, which is more likely to happen, then this could be your support level. But if this support level doesn't work, then we can reconfigure our support level, and we can wait for the price to come into this area of 140 to 148. So we have two support levels with respect to Boeing. Support level number 1, support level number 2, resistance level number 1. So all of them, they do represent a huge potential in terms of a price. So this pretty much sums up all of the stocks that we were pretty much talking about earlier. If you have any further stocks that you wanted to do, I can do one more stock, which is your Walmart stock. Again, we can add Walmart. Let me just bring Walmart once again. The moving averages over here. we go to indicators, we go to trend, and then we go to our moving averages. We add our 50-day simple moving average first. Similarly, then we're going to add our 100-day moving average, because these moving averages gives me the indication if the price is trading in an upward trend or if the price is trading in a downward trend. So it gives me confidence of in terms of my support levels and in terms of my resistance levels as well. And more importantly, it also gives me confidence where are my important support, where is my trend. So once again, sorry, there is something wrong because we got the color wrong for the 100-day moving average. So let me change the color to yellow because that is the color that we really like to see. Right, okay. So again, why is it not changing the color? 100 is that. I don't know why it's not changing the color. Maybe some sort of an issue with the platform. No, there you go. We have it now. So again, the price is trading. Now, if you're wondering why everything is green, what all we got to do is go to properties, and then we say the bar up, green bar down. We need to change them to red. Similarly, bull candle, we want them to be green because we don't want them to, we don't want to confuse ourselves. And then bear candles, we want them to be in red so that we can clearly see from the chart when we see it. Now, if I will press OK, you will see clearly that the prices have changed. And then I'm going to change it to my candle chart rather than from a bar chart. Clearly, the Walmart chart, not much movement in Walmart usually because it's very much a sideways movement. But in terms of our support levels, what we're really looking at is our 100-day moving average. I think this is where important support level of the buy zone is going to be. I'm going to redefine that a little bit more. 242, 243 is my buy level. If this doesn't work, then we can draw another buy level, which could be in around 140 price level, and which runs all the way to right over here. So 140.80, well, I think we can just give ourselves a little bit more margin, just right over here. So 139, 240 is our buy level. In terms of our resistance, we're going to take the best price levels, and that is going to be between 146. Because it is Walmart, not much movement, so the points are really, they do matter as well. So 145.86, 146.63. Because Walmart stock doesn't really move that much, so it is quite important for us to have a look at those price levels. So let me just have a quick look at some questions before we say, yeah, Johnson & Johnson done. I don't know about John, you mean NIO, what do you mean by that? Do you look at SMAs in any particular order of for support? Yes, I've explained that, Paul, because I really draw my support and resistance levels with respect to moving averages. All right, so that's pretty much it. I don't see you guys throwing any other stocks. So with that in mind, I think this pretty much summarizes everything in terms of our webinar. Again, the recording will be uploaded, and follow us on Twitter if you have any questions. I'd be more than happy to answer them. That's all for today. Enjoy your day, and I'll speak to you guys soon.